Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I know it's 9 instead of 9 a.m. is 9 p.m., but I did not want a day to go by, and a day will not go by. So help me God that I will be able to do my 100 days of purpose so we do not miss a day. It's very important to me that we do not miss a day, even if I have to come on a little bit later. And so I got to apologize because yesterday I was supposed to talk about the definition of manifestation, and I got into the two key elements, which is what I was supposed to talk about today. So I'm kind of going to go back to defining manifestation, and we're going to talk about this a little bit because I believe that what we considered to be manifestation, we don't truly understand what it is. And so, therefore, when we hear these types of words, we decide that they are either meaningless to us or we think we know what the meaning is. And so we use it in the wrong way. And so I want us to kind of rethink the way we think about these words because, and when I'm saying words, I mean word manifestation, because it, to me, it's very important that we get it right, that we get the definition right. We are clear because we talked yesterday about the two key elements that you need to see manifestation in your life. And to see manifestation in your life, there are a few things that you have to understand about manifestation. And so the two key elements, just to do a repeat of yesterday, and then we're going to move forward with the definition, is number one, you got to have faith slash trust, whatever you want to call it. Um, Faith slash trust, and then two, clarity. So you got to believe. You got to know what your core beliefs are. You got to know and understand what it is that you are trying to bring to you. And then you got to have clarity about what it is that you want to bring to you. And so many of us, we say that we want something or we say that we need something because that's the word we use. We use the word need. I need more money. I need a job. I need a car. I need a house. I need a lover or a spouse. I need, to have children. I need. And we wonder why, in most cases, we start to feel unfulfilled in these areas, or why we start to experience more of the same. And why are we, for lack of a better word, manifesting more of that need of a spouse, more of that need of money, more of that need of a house, or more of that need of a car, or whatever it is that you're saying that you need. I need a better job. I need to get a promotion. I need to make more money. Whatever it is that you're saying that you need, you're wondering, why am I manifesting more need as opposed to that need being met? And the reason why the need is not being met is, one, there's a lack of faith because you're saying that you need something, but you're not believing that it will come to you. And so the belief is not there. So you're speaking something, you're saying something, you're thinking something, but you are not tying it to your faith because you don't trust God, or you don't trust that the money will come, or you don't trust that the house will come. I mean, there are people that I know right now that are looking for housing and they are looking to purchase a home, right? But they don't really, they're like, man, it's hard. It's da 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 da. And I'm like, well, if you want a house, say that you want a house. Say what type of house you want. Get that picture in your head and keep focused on that and believe that that will come to you because that's what you want to manifest. You don't want to keep manifesting these houses you can't afford. But every time you say, I can't afford that, or man, it's hard, then that's what's going to manifest in your life. It's simple. It's not difficult. Okay, so you got to have faith, and then you got to go through the clarity. You got to be clear on what it is that you're asking for. You can't be double-minded. You can't be unstable. You can't be wishy-washy and back and forth. And one moment you want it, one moment you don't. One moment you want it, and one moment you don't. Because let not that man think he should receive anything. So that's why you're not getting anything. Because one, you're not clear, and two, you don't have the faith. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Now somebody else can pat you and humor you and coddle you, but I'm not gonna do that because I want to see it manifest. Whatever it is that you're trying to get to manifest in your life, I'm trying to see that that gets manifested in your life. And it can't get manifested if you're not operating in the two elements. And you can't operate in the two elements if you don't understand the definition of manifest. And so when I looked up in the dictionary, I love the dictionary because I'm a word person, right? And so I looked up in the dictionary, and manifest is an adjective. Okay? And it's clear or obvious to the eye or mind. That's what manifest means. It means it's clear or obvious to the eye or the mind. It's tangible. It's something that can be seen. It's something that can be felt. It's something that can be touched. Manifestation is tangible. Now, yesterday I quoted the scripture from Hebrews 11:1, right? And it says in Hebrews 11:1 that now faith is the substance. It's the tangible thing of things hoped for. It's the evidence. It's the proof of things not seen. That is manifest. Come on, somebody. Don't make me preach this thing to you. Okay, so we got manifest. So now we're going to go to Merriam-Webster, and I'm going to read all of the definitions of manifest. And then I may even take us to manifestation, because manifestation and manifest go hand in hand, right? Manifestation is a, what do you want to call it? It's a verb of manifest, right? So we have manifest as I read it as an adjective. So it's readily perceived by the senses, and especially the abundance of sight. Okay, manifest. It's readily perceived by the senses, and especially by the sense of sight. And we understand that it's obvious and it's tangible. It's obvious to the mind. It's obvious to the mind and to the eye, right? So the verb manifest means, let me scroll down here. To make evident or certain by showing or displaying. To make evident or certain by showing or displaying. Now, manifest is also a noun. Okay? So when you look at this, the noun part of it is manifestation or indication, right? So when you look at this word and you start to understand what goes in, and let's look at some of the synonyms. I didn't do this earlier, but I'm going to do it now. Some of the synonyms are apparent, bold, apparent, bald face, bare face, bright line, broad, clear, clear cut, crystal, clear, decided, distinctive, evident, lucid, luminous, non-ambiguous, obvious, open and shut, palatable, patent. Okay, you get it? It's plain, straightforward, transparent, unambiguous, unambient, or ambivalent. It was going to come out in a minute. Unambivalent. And it's unmistakable. So all of these things are manifest. And it's manifestation, whether it's good or bad. Many of us manifest what we don't want. We don't know how to manifest what we do. And we manifest what we don't want because we are thinking and speaking and doing the opposite of what we say we want. So if you're being ambiguous, right? We talked about faith. We talked about clarity. If you're being ambiguous or you're being clouded or you're being cryptic or dark, you're being indistinctive, unclarified, unclear, non-obvious. If you're doing those things, then you are going to manifest opposite of what you say that you want. One of the things I do when I teach people how to do sign language, I tell them sign language is very simple. It is saying what you mean and meaning what you say. So in sign language, I am not going to say something that I don't mean, because then it becomes ambiguous to the person that is reading my hands. They don't get it and they look at you kind of like, huh? What? I don't understand. Sign language is very straightforward. And so when I started learning sign language and I started to see, okay, in sign language, I have to say what I mean and mean what I say, I started applying that in other ways. I just was a little bit rough around the edges, I guess, because I would say what I meant and mean what I say in a very rude way. Even that can bring you what you don't want. Okay, so you got to understand what manifest means. So let's look at the word manifestation real quickly here. Give me 1 second, because earlier I had it all set up and then my camera wasn't working. I was supposed to come on at 9. The camera wasn't working, so I had to shut everything down and come back. Yeah, because this is real life and I'm not going to sit up here and act like everything's perfect, because sometimes things are not perfect. But I am going to roll with the punches just like you do, and I'm going to make the best of it, because this is what I was purposed and made to. I was made for this. So I was made for the trouble that I go through. I was made for the problems that I face. And I believe that I have the solution on the inside of me. And so when problems come, I don't allow those problems to cause me to run. Now, sometimes they're big and they're scary and they're hairy and and I have to take a moment. I have to pause and be like, oh, what in the world? But eventually, after that 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, I said it the other day, sometimes you got to do a 5-second pause. Most times it's a 2-second pause, but sometimes it's a 5, a 10-second, maybe a 30-second pause. So I can get this mind right. So I can say what I need to say and manifest what I need to manifest, because what I've learned is that it has to be apparent. I have to have clarity and I have to believe in what it is that's coming out of my mouth. I have to believe it. So manifestation, hold on, I spelled it wrong. Give me 1 second here, because it's going to look up this misspelled word and tell me that it's not there. So manifestation, now my system is saying, look, you going too fast, girl, slow it down. Okay, so manifestation is the act, process, or an instance of manifesting. Something that manifests or is manifest. Something that manifests with an S or is manifest. Then you have a perceptible outward or visual expression. One of the forms in which an individual is manifested. And it can also be a phenomenon. And so what we have and what we understand about manifestation is that if I want to see something manifest in my life, Number one, I got to have the faith and trust that it's supposed to be. And number two, I got to have clarity of thought, because manifestation is obvious, it's apparent, and it is something that's tangible. It's something that can be seen with the eye. It can be understood with the mind, right? It touches the senses. It's not something that's imaginary. It's not something that's ambiguous. It's not something that is wishy-washy. Manifestation is real. It is apparent. It's solid. And so when you understand this, man, you manifest every day. Every day there's something being manifested in your life. Now, when it's bad, when it's something that we are not wanting, we don't call it manifestation. We call it, oh, the devil is a busy. The devil is a lie, right? Mm-hmm. We never want to take on the blame that we didn't have the clarity of thought, that we didn't have the faith. And this is not to say that when you are like in a church service and, the prophet says you're going to be healed and the healing doesn't happen. I'm not talking about that type of faith. I'm talking about it, believing what God says about you, faith. Believing that you were made and created for such a time as this. Believing that the good that is supposed to come to you will come to you. Believing that you will get that promotion. Believing that you will get that raise. Believing that you will get a good spouse. Believing that your children will be obedient and that they will love each other and that they will get along and they won't be troublesome to you. Believing that you'll get the car, believing that you'll get the house, believing that you will be able to operate in ministry the way that you want to operate in ministry, believing these things, trusting these things, knowing that you were made, there's a design for your life, and that design says yes. That promise says yes and amen. It is so. You've got to believe that, and you've got to be clear on who you are. You've got to be clear on who you are, not what you do. You've got to be clear. You've got to be clear. A double-minded man is unstable in all its ways. And that goes if you're Christian or not. You don't get anything. If you're double-minded, if you're ambiguous, if you're unstable, you don't get anything. And it's nobody's fault but yours. Because you were the one that was wishy-washy. You were the one that kept going back and forth. So what you're going to do? How are you going to use these two key elements in your life? You say you want change. You say you want better. And I'm just going to get on us Christians for a moment, right? We go to church, we hear the word of the Lord, we hear the prophet say you're going to get blessed, there's a turnaround coming, you're going to have a breakthrough, and all the things that we say as Christians, we get excited and emotional, and we dance and shout, and we're still in the same situation. Did not the word of the Lord say that there was a breakthrough, a turnaround? Is God a liar? So why didn't you get anything? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Because when the emotion dies, when you're not in the presence of the power, what do you say? What do you do? How do you live? Manifestation requires us to have faith, to trust the process. It requires us to be clear, to have clarity. It requires us to understand the word manifest. I am Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose. And as I always say, I'm out.